Assalamu alaikum, this is Brother Hameed back again with the Muslim Empowerment Institute. Today, at the recording of this video, marks the 60th anniversary of the assassination and martyrdom of El-Hajj Malik el-Shabazz, better known as Malcolm X. 60 years ago today, Malcolm X was assassinated in front of his wife and children. Brother Malcolm, may Allah be pleased with him, had so much potential to do so many great things, even greater things than what he had already accomplished. Advocating for oppressed people regardless of their race from all over the world, and spreading Islam within Black America. This was a part of his mission if he had lived. A man who emerged as a criminal, a drug dealer, a robber, who discovered Islam under the Nation of Islam and Elijah Muhammad, which was the first rise, deemed the first resurrection of Islam within the Black American community. And then he had a second evolution, a second resurrection, if you will, shortly before his death through his global travels where he evolved in his understanding of Islam. Today, I'm not going to get into the conspiracy regarding his assassination. I have a great video on this channel with the founder of the Muslim Empowerment Institute, Imam Amin Athari, who was featured in the Netflix film, Who Killed Malcolm X? Imam Amin talked about how he actually knew the man who was said to have killed Malcolm X with a sawed-off shotgun in the Audubon Ballroom on February 21st, 1965. And the brother who did it was well known within the Muslim community in Newark, New Jersey, and he was able to escape prosecution for the crime up until after his death. Now, what I want to get into is not a historical lecture or give a biography of Malcolm X. There's tons of other people who can do a much better job than I ever could, right? But I want to ask the question, what happened to Black American Muslims after Malcolm, specifically those of the Ahlus Sunnati wal Jama'ah, or quote-unquote Orthodox Muslims, or those of us who consider ourselves to be a part of mainstream Islam? Because honestly, our impact should be more than what it has been, in my opinion. And a lot of this will involve the community of Imam Toby Muhammad, who assumed leadership of the Nation of Islam after the death of his father, Elijah Muhammad, in 1975. But that's a whole nother video and topic. Malcolm did what he could during his short time as a Sunni Muslim, which was literally less than a year. And no one has ever really picked up the torch and continued to work in a way that has gained widespread support, influence, and appeal. And 60 years later, we have not had very many Black American Muslims who have mastered the intellectual Islamic tradition while simultaneously mastering the Black American experience and merging the two in order to alleviate the problem of Black suffering. Since Malcolm's passing, we've had a number of brothers who have traveled to the Muslim world. They've memorized the Quran, immersed themselves in Islamic studies. They've mastered the Islamic tradition. Some of them took their knowledge and brought it back to urban Muslim communities to teach their people. Some of them took their knowledge and brought it back to benefit immigrant Muslim communities, working as imams, teaching in Islamic schools, because at the end of the day, they need jobs. Being a Black man and a black imam at a Black masjid doesn't pay very well. And some of these brothers have large families. If you look at many of our American Muslim communities, most of them are broke, and they struggle just to keep their lights on at the masjid. And many of us live in low-income communities and struggle to keep our kids away from street life. And unfortunately, the streets are undefeated. We have high divorce rates and low marriage rates, poorly educated Islamically and in the secular sense. And when folks become Muslim in our communities, they rarely ever take Islam seriously. And that's not even the tip of the iceberg. You know, I know some brothers and sisters in the community of Imam Toby Muhammad who always talk about how it was in the Nation of Islam during the time of Elijah. I mean, their faces just light up. You know, they have a lot of nostalgia talking about those days, but it seems that when they got a hold to the Sunnah, they lost their enthusiasm. And that should not be. When Malcolm saw himself a part of the greater Muslim Ummah, this evolution that he had did not slow him down at all. But it seems that we've slowed down all the way until going backwards in many cases. Why is this? Islam is growing rapidly in immigrant Muslim communities. They're building a legacy for their children to inherit religious authority in America. And I think that Black American Muslims specifically have paved the way for immigrants to inherit religious authority in America and not in their own communities. What do you think needs to happen in order for Islam to be revived within our communities? Leave a comment below, like, share, and subscribe. Assalamu alaikum.